What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access, and today we're joined by Trey Capital.
Soren Baker.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, thanks for coming through for this episode of Best Albums.
Of course, man.
Yeah, man, and this week, Trey has selected Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yes, that's the album we're going to talk about for 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We can go on forever.
Yeah. One of the crazy things about this album is I remember it coming off of 808s and Heartbreaks. I was really intrigued to see what was his sonic direction going to be. So for you as a fan of this project, when you were coming off 808s and Heartbreaks and then going into this album, what were you expecting sonically?
It's hard, man, because you already know he never sticks on the same sound every album, you know? So
Right.
Coming off of 808s, he was like lacing it up in Japan. He was broken up with Amber, so everybody's like, oh man, is he gonna be singing again? Like, what is he gonna do? Me as a fan, I knew he was gonna be kind of like going ham, because I was like, you know, me and my nerdy self, I'm doing all the background research before the album comes out, like who's on it, who's possibly doing beats, where's the pictures at, all of that. So I see like No ID, I see like everyone going to Hawaii, Rick Ross is like, yo, I'm out here in Hawaii. And I knew it was gonna really be kind of next level. I felt like he was gonna get back on the rapping tip, especially just because there's so much craziness going around his name, you know what I'm saying, the Taylor
Right.
Swift stuff. So I feel like he's got to reprove himself again. So I knew he kind of had a chip on his shoulder, like, oh, yay, man, like, I'm coming back, so.
And what did you think what was the first song that you heard from the project?
I heard him perform I'm So Appalled live, even though it wasn't like the final
version,
yeah,
right,
at all,
right.
but it was like, I think Cudi brought him out and he did a verse. He did acapella, like he's like, you know, I sold my soul to the devil, that's a crappy deal. And everybody's like, oh my God, like what? Then after that, he just dropped the beat. And then at that time, I kind of knew, I was like, okay, first off, I'm a huge like producer person too. So at first, I'm like, who did this beat? Like who did I'm So Appalled? That beat is disgusting. And then that was the very first song I heard and I was like, oh man, like that's gonna be wild.
And I think to your point earlier, that's a big departure from what 808s was because of how he approached it as a songwriter.
Right.
So he went back into being like lyrical rap and, you know, with the similes, metaphors, punchlines and everything. So hearing that as a rapper yourself, what did you take from it, just hearing that off rip?
Off rip, I know like with Good, I know they're always gonna try to incorporate large amounts of just having mad people in the same room. I kind of got that vibe from Good Fridays. You know, when he was just dropping the Lucy's, I've kind of thought like, okay, this is probably what the direction of the album's gonna be. If he's focusing on his whole, like I'm on my fashion tip, I'm the Louis Vuitton Don, like I'm really kind of like, I got all these people on here, I got 7, 8 artists on the same song, so I kind of feel like the songwriting, the, like how you said, the punchlines, like him punching in, like he really wanted every line to really matter. Yeah, so he was cramming in, and I like when albums are built like that, especially knowing the amount of resources and just sounds and kits that he can have access to. You know, it's like he can pretty much make his own world.
Right.
Full on.
Okay. And then from there, what was the next song that you remember hitting you?
The next one from that, well, I know that he was leaking, like he leaked Monster.
Right.
You know, Runaway, I think he leaked before he performed it on the VMA. I believe it was the VMAs when he did it with, you know, all the ballerinas and everything with the MPC. So once I heard those two, and I was like, okay, then I heard, what was the next song I heard? I heard the Running, it was like Looking for Trouble, which wasn't on the album, but then when I heard that, I was like, okay, he's reaching out to Cole, he's got Sean on this. I was
Right.
like, man, what is the album gonna be like? Because with all these songs he has, like even Christian Dior, Denim Flow, like.
Right.
I'm like,
Well, even with Runaway, when he did the 30-minute version of it,
yeah.
As far as someone like you have a lot of interesting and different from this typical rap like imagery and stuff. So for you, as an artist that also has more than a traditional trajectory and traditional look, what did you think when you were seeing how he presented that song?
I think because he's always a big person on presentation.
Right.
I noticed like he focuses like how, I'm so in depth when it comes to album covers, like
Right.
the track list, all of that. So when I saw the Runaway presentation, it kind of gave me a sense that he's still incorporating rap into his whole persona, but I think he's taking the extra milestone steps to kind of separate himself. Like there's no artist, like basically like I'm making art almost. That's kind of a sense of what I got. Like there's no artist who's wearing like an all red you know, like suit straight up, you know, with the chains on, like V-neck with the, you know what I'm saying, with the all white. Like it's kind of just on some very artistic, like you could say it's extra for sure, but I think like it's kind of like when Hov did DOA, you know, and he didn't have his hair looking crazy, went in the elevator, had the glasses on, like, oh, I'm about to kill everybody, had the whole band. It's like, it's art. I feel like they're trying to go
and that ties into Monster well, because with that one, you know, when I heard it, I just remember thinking like, one, you have the posse cutness of it, but then also you have Kanye kind of regaining that anger, I think, from an artistic standpoint, as opposed to focusing on being artistic. It was more of an angry song. So for you, what did you take?
For Monster, I think like he was, because it was so simple, it was like the minimalism was very key and essential. Like for not a lot of songs, there's songs that, you know, he went up and down.
Grandiose.
Yeah, dude. But then when it came to Monster, I liked how simple it was, and he was just like, kind of emphasizing like, yo, I'm a raw, like, talented artist. Like, I got Nicki and Hov on this. Like, I think he was just going for like, trying to solidify like, I'm the only one who can do this. Like, you can't even get Hov on a song. Matter of fact, 2 records. Matter of fact, on a song with Nicki, let her shine. You know, like I think he was really kind of setting the standard.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think also it's important to talk about the evolution sonically, because as he had done throughout his career, really starting with the second album, bringing in different minds and different sounds and styles in sonically, you know, we saw a new version of this, a new incarnation of this on this album. So for you, what do you think adding so many different sounds, voices, mixers, producers, different things added to this project?
I think he really tried to sum it down, like even how Kendrick did Good Kid, Mad City in 12 songs. Like how he made Dark Twisted Fantasy 12 songs and then an outro with his dad at the end. It's like him, I like the sonics that he picked. It was not like not retro or very like, what's like a great example? Well, like not even techno sound, you know, like 808 and Heartbreaks kind of felt like it was very like retro sounding. Like it almost sounds like some Astro Boy video game type of, but I think with Dark Twisted Fantasy, he really wanted to say, let's bring in RZA, you know, let's bring in the real classic, you know, let's get Talib, like let's get Q-Tip, you know, in these sessions and try to recreate that same, but in modern, you know, modern form. You're obviously not going to be able to reduplicate it, but I think he's like, look, I got this person here, so we're going to try and make something that Q-Tip would make, and I think that's kind of what can get him going, whether it's sounds, beats, punches, songwriters, like anything. I think they're kind of like trying to.
And I think too, with the looking back at the project, also, I think it's important to realize like he was at a super career crossroads, because he had a lot of the personal turmoil that really had gotten to the forefront with the kind of bearing his soul on 808s and Heartbreaks. But then also, you know, as people know, in the rap world, everything is like so fast with the turnaround and people falling off and people rising to the top. And he showed that, you know, he like Outkast, for instance, he was able to show, I can do all these different styles and still be, you know, still be on top. And for you, you know, what did that show you artistically?
It showed me artistically that Kanye was here to stay for sure. I think he knew at this time, like, this was the point where a lot of people are gonna support my music no matter what, but then a lot of people are gonna be divided by what I wanna do. So I think it's a battle for him trying to cater to both audiences and be like, I know my core group is gonna support anything I do, but there's still a lot of people who doubt me. So I think him coming off of like 808s, he's like, okay, I really gotta step it up. And then even like, you know, doing Watch the Throne, like that whole 2-3 year gap, he was not like playing around. He was really trying to say like, I'm gonna be around for a long time, for sure.
Yeah, well, that's why it's the best albums here on Unique Access. I'm Soren Baker.
Trey Capital.
And Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Best album, man.